What's up, everybody? Couch Mills here, coming at you with a brand new Valorant video. And in this video, we gotta talk about JETT getting nerfed. JETT has been absolutely dominant in Berlin at the most recent LAN event that's still ongoing, by the way. Envy in the finals, baby. But we do gotta talk about JETT because it's looking like she's an actual problem, and there's a lot of big forum posts going out. There's a lot of Reddit posts, even the pros agree. So let's break it all down. Does JETT need a nerf? What's next for JETT? And what big changes can we expect in the next patch? Now go to the GameLeap website right now if you want to dominate on any agent and really climb incredibly easy. We got in-depth guides and VOD reviews just for you, so go check them out down below. But without further ado, let's jump into the video. Now it's been pretty obvious that we have not gotten that big of changes. Yeah, we got a new map, but all of the changes to agents have been pretty soft, if I'm being honest, and there have been many months going by where we haven't really got that big of balance changes. Now that being said, Riot has talked about this before where they say, hey, while the pro seed is going on, we want to keep people on very similar patches. We don't want to change the game up too much between what the pros are playing and what the people are playing. So we're not going to do that big of changes while there's a big LAN event, but immediately afterwards is where you can expect the big changes. The big changes to characters and the big balance changes to weapons and things like that. Now, that being said, LAN is still ongoing, but it should be over pretty soon, and the next patch we get might be a huge one. In fact, I'm expecting it to be, and it seems that the biggest problem right now is none other than JETT. She's on the chopping block to be the character that is going to get nerfed. Now, why is this the case, and why do people think this is the case? Well, there have been a lot of Reddit threads about JETT's power level in pro play right now. She seems to be a character that completely shifts how pros even play around her, and she's a character that has the capability to win huge disadvantages on paper, which some people believe should not be a thing at all. Now, assuming that JETT is not balanced, what would actually make her balanced? Well, in order to answer that question, we actually have to ask what makes her strong in the first place. And let's break down her abilities and what she can abuse and the reasons that she is so strong. The first thing we do got to talk about is her smokes, which when you have very fast executes, having the ability to block LOS 3 different times is incredibly powerful. And many people think that maybe JETT should only have 2 smokes or something like that. So she has to be a lot more careful with how she uses them. The next thing that we got to talk about is the operator. JETT abuses this weapon better than any other character, being able to play at an off angle, even in the middle of a freaking site, op an enemy and then dash away. The problem with this is there is very little counterplay because yes, you could technically counter an operator if you flash the right angle, or if you have really good counter strafing and jiggle peeking, aiming at an angle, a power angle that an enemy could be placed at. But because JETT in particular can play like at a very off angle because she has that dash, so if she gets a kill, she can just get away very easily, it becomes incredibly difficult to play around a JETT with an operator, especially in a coordinated setting. And a lot of people have suggested things like specifically adding maybe a scope sound on the operator, so it's a lot easier to identify where the JETT is at, where she's coming from, maybe even a light hum to the operator. I don't really know exactly what the answer is here, but these are just some of the suggestions that were actually introduced, so it becomes a lot harder for a JETT to abuse this weapon. But definitely let me know if you think that JETT and opping is fine and it's okay that a weapon is really good in one specific character's hands. The next thing that we got to talk about is the knives, and specifically we've seen it in pro play this week. The knives in the right hands can make miracles happen, and this can be really cool. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes someone goes in with knives and just gets like a 3 or 4K and it's freaking incredible and it looks amazing. But is this fun viewing or is this unfair? Is it fair that an enemy who doesn't even have to buy shields, doesn't even have to have any weapons at all, and who is really behind on economy on every single axis can use an ultimate and convert that into many kills and even a 1 round? Well, that's kind of hard to say because it's obvious that the JETT knives are difficult to use. It's obvious that they have a very high skill ceiling, but just because something is very difficult to use doesn't necessarily that it should still exist in the game in its current state. And there's a lot of suggestions about how we would nerf knives. Would we make it so you don't replenish all your knives on a kill? Would we further nerf the damage? Would we nerf the amount of knives that you have? How would we actually balance this ability to make it fair? And is the ability fair? Is there an actual other problem, a part of JETT that is really the thing that makes her over the top, makes her powerful, and makes it so as the game progresses and as the overall community gets better, because as a game is played more and more, everyone's skill rises, the average skill level of every rank rises, and JETT is priced to get even better and better as time moves on. And I think the biggest offender is honestly the dash. The dash is something that is incredibly difficult to balance because it's a get out of jail free card, and unlike something like Reyna's Dismiss, you do not need to get a kill to use it. You can use it aggressively. You could use it to get an angle that you shouldn't be able to get to miss time an enemy. You can use it to take an op shot and miss and still stay alive. I mean, you get multiple chances at a duel, and it's just really, really powerful. And I speak this as someone who plays JETT a lot. I really like JETT, but I don't necessarily know if dash is something that can exist for the longevity of the game unless you severely nerf some other aspects of JETT's kit. Now, there are a lot of people that agree with this, and even pros universally think that JETT is very powerful. Even the pros that main JETT think that she is a problem. And in ranked play, of course, she's going to be one of the most played characters because she has a very high impact rate to individual skill rate. So she's an amazing character to potentially quote unquote hard carry. And then of course in pro play, she's seeing the most amount of pick rate at like surpassing 80%. So really, how do we balance this character to make her decent without changing her fundamentally? And some people have even suggested that dash could only be done in the direction that a JETT is facing. So if you dash, you always dash forward. If you want to take a shot and dash away, you literally have to flick to the right. So it adds more skill to the character. But I do think that that might feel incredibly clunky. So I'm not entirely sure how they should go about this. I really want to hear your opinion about it. Do you think JETT needs a nerf? Do you think that her having a huge pick rate, like that huge, is okay? Do you think the operator is what actually needs to be nerfed? How do you think things need to proceed? What big changes do you want to see? Do you want to see JETT nerfed? What other characters do you want to see nerfed? And what characters do you want to see buffed? I honestly wouldn't be mad if they buffed a character like Omen, for instance. I think it would be really cool if maybe they made it so you couldn't blind your teammates with paranoia or something like that. Not entirely sure what they should do next, but I want to hear your opinion about that down below. And go to the GameLeap website for in-depth tips and tricks, VOD reviews, map guides, agent courses, weapon guides. I mean, we got it all on the GameLeap website. You just got to go check it out right now. But thank you so much for coming by. I really hope you enjoyed the video. I love your faces, and I'll see you next time.